Wise and gentle man, you must mentally and emotionally embody the state of already being the millionaire version of yourself. It's not about hoping or wishing, it's about assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This simple phrase holds the secret to profound transformation. You do not have to wait for evidence of your millionaire status to begin living it. The act of assuming is not merely pretending, nor is it wishful thinking. It is an intentional shift of consciousness where you embody mentally and emotionally the reality of what you desire as if it is already done. When you act, think, and feel from that place, your reality begins to conform to that inner state. Every person lives in accordance with the state of consciousness they occupy. If you dwell in a state of lack, your thoughts will be filled with worry, your actions will reflect limitation, and your results will mirror that scarcity. But if you shift your consciousness to one of abundance, by assuming the feeling of already being wealthy, then your thoughts will begin to expand, your behavior will reflect confidence, and the results in your life will begin to change accordingly. To assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled means that you do not wait for the outside world to grant permission to feel successful, powerful, and free. You move into that state regardless of your current circumstances. You carry the inner conviction that what you have imagined has already taken place, and you live in the emotional tone of that fulfilled desire. Let's say you desire to become a millionaire. The average person looks outside of themselves for signs that it's happening. Money in the bank, job promotions, clients, connections. But when you understand the power of assumption, you reverse the process. Instead of reacting to what is, you create what will be by living inwardly in the state of having already received. You ask yourself, how would I feel right now if I were already a millionaire? And then you feel it, not once, not twice, but persistently, consistently, until that state becomes your natural dwelling place. Your body, your tone of voice, your daily habits, everything begins to align with that new identity. You are no longer chasing success, you are expressing it. It shows in how you carry yourself, how you speak to others, how you spend your time. You are not operating from need or desperation, you are operating from abundance, because your inner man has accepted the fact of wealth. This is not a matter of blind faith. It is the natural law of consciousness. What you accept as true in your imagination, your subconscious begins to move heaven and earth to bring to pass. But most people reject this power. They say, I'll believe it when I see it. And so they remain stuck. But the creative mind says, I'll see it because I believed it first. That is how manifestation works. You must first experience the change internally before you ever witness it externally. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are not ignoring reality, you are creating a new one. You are not pretending to be rich while secretly believing you're poor. You are not fooling yourself, you are shifting your attention away from what is unwanted and placing it fully upon what is desired, until the new state becomes more real to you than the old. That is the essence of transformation. What you focus on, you energize. What you energize, you attract. Emotion plays a vital role here. You cannot just say the words, I am wealthy, and expect change. You must feel it. The feeling is the prayer. The feeling is the invitation. It is the signal you send out to the world, and the world responds not to your words, but to your vibration. When you feel successful, worthy, and at ease, life mirrors those inner states back to you. You must be willing to detach from your current identity and step into a new one. And this can feel uncomfortable because the old version of you wants to hold on. The version that struggles, doubts, and waits for proof, it doesn't want to let go. But when you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you say goodbye to that old self. You no longer speak from lack. You no longer act from fear. You live from fulfillment, from conviction, from confidence. Every great transformation begins with assumption. Long before the world recognizes you as a millionaire, you must recognize it within yourself. Long before the money appears, the clients come, or the investments grow, you must mentally occupy the state of financial freedom. And once you do, once you live there in thought and in feeling, the rest is inevitable. The world will follow the pattern you have impressed upon your inner mind. Your imagination is the blueprint of reality. It is not a tool of escape. It is the origin of everything you experience. Before anything can exist in the external world, it must first be imagined within. Every structure, every invention, every work of art, every fortune ever amassed, all of it began as a vision, as a quiet, invisible idea held firmly in the mind and nurtured through consistent thought. The world you see around you is nothing more than crystallized imagination, shaped by the beliefs and assumptions that reside within human consciousness. To understand this is to understand your true power. You are not a passive observer in this world, you are a creative participant. Your inner world is not separate from your outer experience. The two are connected through a law as certain as gravity. When you imagine something with feeling, with repetition, and with certainty, you are laying the foundation for its manifestation. Your imagination draws the blueprint and life follows the design. Imagination is the workshop of your soul. It's the place where you give shape to the invisible. Most people use it unconsciously. They imagine worst-case scenarios. They worry, they rehearse failure, they dwell on limitations. And then they are surprised when those experiences show up. But the truth is, they summon them, not intentionally, but effectively. Because the subconscious does not discriminate between what is real and what is imagined. It accepts whatever you vividly and emotionally focus on as fact. This is why it is essential to deliberately use your imagination to construct the life you want, not the one you fear. If you desire to become the millionaire version of yourself, begin not with action, but with imagination. Go inward and create a clear picture of what your life looks like. What kind of home are you living in? What car do you drive? What does your schedule look like? Who are you surrounded by? More importantly, how do you feel in this state? The clearer your inner vision, the more accurate the blueprint becomes. And once that blueprint is alive within your imagination, your thoughts, behaviors, and even opportunities will begin to align with that vision. Imagination is not just fantasy, it is the beginning of form. When you dwell in the image of wealth, ease, and purpose, you begin to radiate the frequency of that life. You begin to think differently, to speak with more certainty, to act with more intention. And slowly, quietly, life begins to take the shape of the vision you've been holding. It is not enough to merely daydream. You must enter the scene as a participant, not a spectator. See the world through the eyes of the millionaire you. Move through imagined rooms. Hear the voices of others congratulating you. Feel the weight of the keys in your hand as you unlock your new home. The more senses you involve in your imagination, the more real it becomes. And what becomes real in your mind cannot help but push itself outward into the world. Use your imagination before sleep. As you drift between waking and sleeping, your conscious mind is quiet and your subconscious is open and receptive. In that state, impress the image of your wealthy life. Fall asleep in the feeling that it is already done. That single act, done consistently, will change the course of your reality more powerfully than years of effort based in doubt. Everything you need to become the highest version of yourself already exists in your imagination. The ideas, the plans, the strength, the people, it is all within you waiting to be accessed. Your job is not to struggle or strive, but to remain loyal to the image you've constructed. Hold that vision, return to it daily, and let it guide your choices. When fear arises, return to the image. When doubt speaks, return to the image. When circumstances contradict your dream, return again. That image is your compass. It is your inner truth. It is more real than what your senses show you. Never underestimate the quiet power of imagination. Empires are born in silence. Fortunes are built in solitude. The most successful individuals in the world are not those who reacted to what is. They are the ones who imagined what could be and held firm to it. That same power lives in you right now. Not when you get the job, not when you save enough money. Now, you already possess the tool. It's not external, it's not material, it is your imagination. So use it, guard it, honor it. Let your imagination design the blueprint of your life, and trust that everything in the outer world is simply catching up. What you imagine today will become your experience tomorrow. Therefore, imagine wisely, imagine boldly, imagine as if your vision is already done, because within you it already is. Live from the end, not towards it. This principle holds the key to manifesting the life you desire. It is often tempting to wait for the perfect circumstances to appear before you begin living your dreams. People think, when I have the money, the success, the opportunity, then I will begin to feel successful. Then I will start acting like a millionaire. But this is backward. This is living towards the end goal, not from it. The true secret lies in reversing this process. Living from the end. You must mentally and emotionally step into your desired reality, act as if it has already happened, and let the external world reflect that inner transformation. The reason this works is because the law of attraction, or any spiritual or psychological law, does not respond to what you are chasing. It responds to who you are being. When you live as if your desire has already been fulfilled, you align your inner world with the outer results you seek. The reality you experience is not created by waiting for external circumstances to change, but by changing your internal state first. When you begin to live as though your dreams have already come true, you change your vibration, your thought patterns, your actions, and your energy. And this new alignment brings the world into harmony with your inner assumption. Living from the end means you cease to be driven by desire and need. Instead of waiting for a future event to determine your state of being, you take on the feeling of fulfillment right now. You stop saying, I will be happy when I achieve this, or I will feel successful when I have that. Instead, you declare, I am happy now. I am successful now. I am already living my dream. You shift from the mindset of scarcity, of lack, of waiting, of striving, to a mindset of abundance, where the reality you desire already exists within you. This shift requires trust in the unseen. It is a choice to live in a mental and emotional state of certainty, even when the evidence in your life doesn't immediately reflect your desires. It means you must trust that the feeling of having already arrived is enough to bring the external world into alignment with that state. This is where faith becomes powerful. Faith is not about waiting for something to happen. It is the certainty that your vision has already been realized in the unseen world, and that all things must eventually manifest in the physical realm. One powerful aspect of living from the end is the realization that you already have everything you need to succeed. Your potential is not locked in the future. It is available to you right now. It is simply a matter of aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with that future reality. Your millionaire self is not some distant version of you. It is already within you, already fully formed in the realm of your imagination. You need only begin to live in alignment with that version of yourself. The more you embody the mindset, feelings, and actions of the person you wish to become, the more the universe begins to rearrange itself to reflect that new state. This doesn't mean you ignore the work that needs to be done. Living from the end doesn't mean you sit passively and wait for everything to fall into place. It means that you approach your work, your goals, and your actions with the confidence and clarity of someone who has already succeeded. You act with purpose, with a sense of urgency, and with the knowledge that your actions are in alignment with your ultimate goal. When you live from the end, your actions are no longer motivated by fear or doubt, but by the deep conviction that everything is already moving in the right direction. Living from the end also changes your perception of obstacles. When you are in the state of already having achieved your goal, challenges no longer seem like barriers to success. Instead, they appear as necessary stepping stones, each one an opportunity for growth, each one a reminder that you are exactly where you need to be. The millionaire version of you does not see obstacles as roadblocks, but as opportunities for creativity, problem solving, and expansion. This shift in mindset makes you more resilient, more adaptable, and more capable of handling any situation that comes your way. This way of living transforms not just your external circumstances, but your internal state as well. It creates a feeling of peace, contentment, and gratitude, even in the midst of uncertainty. You no longer feel as if you are chasing something elusive. Instead, you feel as though you are already at the top of the mountain, enjoying the view from the summit. This inner peace radiates outward and begins to influence everything you do. You become magnetic to the opportunities, people, and circumstances that will lead you toward the realization of your goals. In essence, living from the end is about embodying the person you need to be in order to manifest the life you desire. It is about believing that you already possess everything you need and acting in accordance with that belief. It is about adopting a mindset of success, a feeling of abundance, and a belief in your own worth. Once you live from that place, the world will reflect it back to you in ways you never imagined. The feeling of gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. Gratitude, when genuinely felt and expressed, has the ability to shift your energy, transform your thoughts, and change your reality. It is not simply a polite gesture or a reaction to something good that happens in your life. It is a way of living, a state of being that aligns you with abundance. When you adopt gratitude as a consistent emotional state, you open the floodgates for more of the same to flow into your life. Too often people wait for something external to change before they can feel grateful. When I get that promotion, I will be thankful. Or when I finally reach my financial goals, then I will express gratitude. This is a backward way of thinking. Gratitude is not something that is contingent on the outside world. It is a practice that can be initiated from within, regardless of your current circumstances. True gratitude is not about waiting for your desires to be fulfilled to start feeling thankful. It is about choosing to be grateful for what is right now. It is about finding joy in the present moment and using that joy as a magnet to attract more of what you desire. Gratitude is a state of mind that aligns you with the energy of abundance. When you are grateful, you are focused on what you have, not on what you lack. And this focus on abundance attracts more of it. The more you cultivate gratitude in your life, the more you begin to see the evidence of abundance all around you. Opportunities, people, and experiences begin to show up that match your state of gratitude. The universe, as if in response, reflects back to you the energy you put out into the world. Gratitude is a magnet for blessings, and when you are consistently vibrating in a state of gratitude, you become a magnet for wealth, success, and happiness. Moreover, gratitude has a transformative effect on your internal state. When you are grateful, you shift your focus away from problems, limitations, and worries. Your thoughts become centered on the good things in your life, no matter how small they may seem. This shift in focus changes the way you perceive your circumstances. You begin to see opportunities where you once saw obstacles, solutions where you once saw problems. Gratitude, in essence, rewires your brain to focus on the positive. You begin to attract more positivity into your life. Another powerful aspect of gratitude is that it helps to shift your vibration. Everything in the universe operates at a certain frequency or vibration. When you are in a state of gratitude, your vibration rises. You move from a frequency of lack and limitation to a frequency of abundance and possibility. This higher vibration not only feels better, but it also attracts more positive experiences, people, and opportunities into your life. By practicing gratitude, you elevate your energy and align yourself with the things you desire. The more you express gratitude, the more you send out a signal to the universe that you are open to receiving abundance. Gratitude also fosters a sense of contentment. It is easy to fall into the trap of constantly striving for more money, more success, more recognition. While there is nothing wrong with striving for growth and achievement, it is important to recognize that true happiness comes from within. Gratitude is the key to inner contentment. When you focus on what you already have and express gratitude for it, you begin to feel a deep sense of satisfaction and peace. You no longer feel as if you are lacking or missing something. Instead, you feel whole and complete. This feeling of completeness, in turn, makes you less dependent on external circumstances for your happiness and fulfillment. Living in a state of gratitude also has a profound effect on your relationships. When you are genuinely grateful for the people in your life, you begin to see them through a different lens. Instead of focusing on their shortcomings or your frustrations, you focus on the positive qualities they bring to your life. This shift in perspective strengthens your relationships and creates a more harmonious environment. People are naturally drawn to those who express gratitude, as it creates an atmosphere of warmth and positivity. By practicing gratitude in your relationships, you foster deeper connections and attract more love and support into your life. Gratitude is also a practice that fosters resilience. Life is filled with challenges, and setbacks are inevitable. However, when you practice gratitude, you develop the ability to see the lessons in every situation, no matter how difficult it may be. Gratitude helps you find meaning in adversity, and it strengthens your ability to bounce back from hardships. Instead of feeling defeated, you begin to feel empowered, knowing that every experience, whether positive or negative, contributes to your growth and progress. Ultimately, the practice of gratitude is a powerful tool for manifesting your desires. It is not just about feeling thankful for what you have, but about using that gratitude as a means of attracting more of what you want. When you live in a state of gratitude, you are sending out a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive. You are aligning your energy with the energy of abundance, and in doing so, you begin to see that abundance reflected back to you in every area of your life. Gratitude is the gateway to a life of limitless possibility, and when you make it a consistent practice, you open the doors to a future filled with prosperity, success, and fulfillment. Your self-worth is the foundation upon which your entire life is built. The way you value yourself determines the way you approach life, the opportunities you pursue, and the relationships you cultivate. If you believe you are worthy of success, abundance, and love, your actions will reflect that belief. On the other hand, if you feel unworthy or undeserving, you will unknowingly sabotage your progress and limit your potential. To become the millionaire version of yourself, you must first recognize and embrace your inherent worth. Understanding your self-worth is not about ego or arrogance. It is about recognizing that you are deserving of the best that life has to offer. This recognition doesn't come from external validation, such as accolades, money, or approval from others. It comes from within, from understanding that you are a unique individual with immense potential. Your worth is inherent. It is not based on what you have or haven't achieved, but on who you are at your core. You are worthy simply because you exist, because you have the capacity to create, to grow, and to contribute to the world in a meaningful way. When you embrace this truth, it transforms the way you approach every aspect of your life. You no longer settle for less than what you deserve. You no longer tolerate situations or relationships that diminish your value. Instead, you begin to make decisions from a place of self-respect, knowing that you are worthy of success, love, and happiness. Your worthiness becomes a standard by which you measure your actions and the choices you make. This is not to say that you will not face challenges or setbacks, but rather that you will approach them with the confidence that you are deserving of success and capable of overcoming anything that comes your way. Believing in your self-worth allows you to step into your power. It removes the doubts and fears that may have previously held you back. When you believe that you are worthy of achieving your dreams, you no longer question your ability to reach them. You take bold action because you know you are deserving of the rewards that come with it. This mindset shift is a game changer. It propels you forward, gives you the courage to take risks, and helps you maintain focus in the face of adversity. One of the most significant barriers to success is the fear of failure. Many people are afraid to take action because they fear they are not good enough or that they will not succeed. This fear is rooted in a lack of self-worth. When you believe that you are worthy of success, failure no longer feels like a personal attack. It becomes a learning opportunity, a stepping stone on the path to your desired future. You no longer see failure as evidence of your inadequacy, but as a necessary part of growth. The millionaire version of you understands that setbacks are not a reflection of your worth. They are simply part of the journey. Another way self-worth influences your life is through your relationships. When you value yourself, you attract relationships that reflect that value. You no longer tolerate toxic people or situations that drain your energy. Instead, you surround yourself with individuals who uplift, support, and inspire you. You understand that you deserve relationships that bring out the best in you, and you are no longer willing to settle for anything less. As your self-worth increases, you begin to demand more from the people in your life. You seek out relationships that are based on mutual respect, trust, and love. This shift not only improves your personal relationships, but also your professional ones. People are drawn to those who know their worth because they exude confidence, strength, and integrity. By recognizing your own value, you become magnetic to others who appreciate and reflect that value. Your self-worth also plays a significant role in your financial success. If you feel unworthy of wealth or success, you will unconsciously block opportunities that would otherwise bring prosperity into your life. You may procrastinate, sabotage your efforts, or even push money away without realizing it. On the other hand, when you believe that you are worthy of wealth, you begin to act in ways that align with that belief. You make smarter financial decisions, invest in your growth, and pursue opportunities with a sense of confidence. The millionaire version of you understands that financial success is not just about making money. It is about believing that you are deserving of abundance. When you truly believe that you are worthy of wealth, you begin to attract it into your life. In the process of recognizing your self-worth, it's essential to practice self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on yourself when things don't go according to plan, but self-criticism only undermines your worth. Instead of focusing on your mistakes, focus on your progress. Acknowledge your strengths, celebrate your accomplishments, and forgive yourself for any perceived shortcomings. The millionaire version of you practices self-compassion because they know that perfection is not the goal, growth is. By being kind to yourself and embracing your worth, you create a positive feedback loop that fuels your growth and success. Finally, it's important to understand that your self-worth is not static. It is something that grows and evolves. As you continue to develop, learn, and achieve, your sense of worth will expand. The more you take action, face challenges, and accomplish your goals, the more you reinforce your belief in your own worth. This ongoing growth is essential for becoming the millionaire version of yourself. As you continue to recognize your inherent value, you unlock your potential for greater success, wealth, and fulfillment. Ultimately, your self-worth is the foundation for everything you desire. When you recognize that you are worthy of success, love, and abundance, you begin to take the actions necessary to manifest your dreams. You stop settling for less. You stop doubting your abilities, and you stop fearing failure. You embrace your inherent value and use it as a driving force to create the life you desire. By doing so, you step into the power of your true potential, and the millionaire version of yourself becomes not just a distant dream, but a present reality. In conclusion, the journey to becoming the millionaire version of yourself begins within. It starts with the understanding that the life you desire is not some distant dream, but something you can start manifesting right now. By embodying the key principles of self-worth, mindset, gratitude, and vision, you align your energy with the abundance you seek. The path to success is not linear, and it is filled with challenges, but each challenge presents an opportunity to grow, learn, and evolve. The millionaire version of you is not a future possibility. It is already present within you, waiting to be realized. Every thought, belief, and action you take today shapes the reality you experience tomorrow. The way you think, how you value yourself, and the gratitude you express for your current blessings all contribute to building the foundation for the wealth and success you are meant to achieve. Remember, you are worthy of success, prosperity, and happiness, not because of what you have done, but because of who you are. By cultivating a mindset that reflects your worthiness, by taking inspired actions towards your goals, and by constantly believing in your potential, you will start seeing the life you've always envisioned unfold before you. The millionaire version of you is already within, and now is the time to act as if that version already exists. It's not about waiting for circumstances to change. It's about changing your own mindset and energy to match the person you want to become. So, step into your greatness, take the necessary actions, and trust that your path to success is already laid out before you. The millionaire version of you is just a thought away. Believe it, live it, and make it your reality.